Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome again to Take 5. It's Friday, the last day of the week. So let's finish this thing off and jump right in. So we've been recapping the message from Sunday on the life of Samson entitled Hokey Pokey Faith. And we're just talking about Samson's life, where he went right, where he went wrong, and how he was always hokey pokey. One minute he was faithful, one minute he was unfaithful, just in and out, in and out. We've learned this week that, like Samson had, you and I have great power that has been given to us by God Himself. The Spirit, the same Spirit that moved on Samson and gave him that supernatural physical strength, lives inside of you and me and has gifted us with supernatural strength and abilities and gifts and talents and everything we need to impact this generation that we live in and advance God's kingdom. We've also learned that, much like Samson, you and I have a tendency to be unfaithful, to play the hokey pokey with God, to be in and to be out, to be in and to be out. And the truth is, this is more important than I think some of us care to admit, because nobody likes unfaithful people. Nobody. If you think about your life and think about people in your life that may call themselves your friend, but that are not very faithful, it gets under your skin. It bothers you because you can never fully trust that person. And Proverbs chapter 20 says that many people profess and proclaim their love for you, but a faithful person, who can find? Who can find a faithful person in this life to walk it out with? You know exactly how frustrating it can be for people to be unfaithful in your life. And I used the little example Sunday morning. I think that every person that's watching this can relate to with unfaithful employees in fast food restaurants. There's nothing that irritates us more than having to sit in the drive-thru for longer than we think we should, or have to go back inside because they messed our order up, or whatever the case might be. And we complain about that so often. The truth is, it's the unfaithfulness of those people that really drive us nuts. And I really don't understand why you and I think that we can be frustrated with other people's unfaithfulness and assume that God's not frustrated with ours. See, the truth is, God dislikes our unfaithfulness. You can read from Genesis to Revelation, example after example. As a matter of fact, this book of the Bible that Samson's story is in, Judges, the whole book of the Bible, the whole book of Judges there, it is just an example of Israel's unfaithfulness with God and how it just drove God nuts. One second they were serving Him and doing everything they could to serve Him and to please Him. And the next minute they were worshiping the false gods of the nations around them. Just in and out, and it frustrated God to no end. In Revelation chapter 3, we see where God is talking to the church of Laodicea, and this is what He said. He said, I know all the things you do. I know that you are neither hot nor cold, and I wish that you were one or the other. But since you are like lukewarm water, neither hot nor cold, I will spit you out of my mouth. So God's telling them, He said, I see everything you're doing. I see all the good deeds and I see all the bad deeds. And He said, what the biggest problem I have with you is that you're just unfaithful. You're for me one minute and you're not for me the next. And He said, honestly, I just wish you would just choose. I wish you'd quit straddling the fence, and I wish you would choose what side you want to be on. So God desires our faithfulness. He wants us to be faithful to Him and faithful to others in this life. And our unfaithfulness drives Him nuts. And again, in 1 Corinthians chapter 4, we see another picture of this where it says, moreover, it is required of stewards that they be found faithful. Not it's recommended, not that it is desirable, not that it is wished or hoped for. He said it is required that we be found faithful. So God desires us to be faithful in every single thing that we do. So we've got to work to make sure that we do that in every part of our life. And I think maybe the saddest thing from this week that we can learn and take from is to be a people with so much potential, so much power, so much purpose, just like Samson, and to imagine ourselves being so selfish that we are unfaithful with that power and that purpose. You see, every one of us that's watching this, every person has great potential and power to impact this generation that we live in. We have great potential and power to advance God's kingdom. We have great supernatural gifts and abilities and talents to grow God's kingdom in our generation. But the number one question is this: will you be faithful with that power? Will you be faithful to God? Will you be faithful in serving Him? Or will you be hokey pokey? What does it mean to be faithful? Well, we defined it Sunday as just simply this: to be consistent, to be loyal, and to be steadfast. Consistent, loyal, and steadfast. That's what it means to be faithful. We all have great potential, great purpose, great power because of the Spirit of God that lives inside of us. But the question is, will you be faithful with that power? Because remember what the great theologian Uncle Ben Parker told Spider-Man: with great power also comes great responsibility. Hey, I have so enjoyed being with you this week. Can't wait to see you Sunday morning. And I can't wait to be back with you again in a couple of weeks right here in Take 5. Until then, stay faithful.